Hey guys, I'm just here. I just wanted to share my weight loss story with you guys. And this is not easy, me being on camera and everything, but I've just decided to just go with it and help inspire somebody. So my name's Michelle. I am a mom of 2 kids. I struggled with my weight when I was younger. I really didn't let it get to me. It was just, part of who I am, as part of my culture or whatnot. As I got older, I noticed that I always would gain more weight between like my thighs and like my back area, and everything else at the end. I had my first daughter and I gained a lot of weight. I was miserable. I eventually lost the weight when we lived in Turkey. I lost 17 pounds and then I gained back 12, I remember. My husband then deployed, and so we wanted to have another baby. So I said, let me try to lose weight while he's gone for 6 months, and then we'll see what happens. So I did. I lost 25 pounds that time, and then shortly after I ended up pregnant with my son, who will be 4 in a couple of weeks in March. And so I got back down to a little, well, not really pre-baby weight, but I got down to like 166. I remember it was at my 6-week checkup. And I thought, oh, okay, well, it's downhill from here. I have like 16 more pounds because I needed to get to 150. Well, that was my ultimate goal. So I kept going, but then I stopped. I was diagnosed with postpartum depression and I didn't really know how to deal with it. I was told to like work out, and the more that I was told to work out, I hated it. The idea, honestly, I was like, why in the world am I going to work out and whatnot? But so that went on for the last couple of years, to now that we're here and I'm 5 months into my journey. This is my 3rd time, but this one's actually the one that I appreciate the most. So back in August, I lost my full-time job. I was wrongfully terminated. I literally hit rock bottom, and I was really upset. Like, what did I do? What could I have done better? But at that point, I was like, there's nothing I can do about it. So I started applying for jobs, and I ended up getting an interview at the YMCA. Just part-time, something that would work for our schedule. So I did that and I got hired, and I remember for a couple of weeks I would see people come in and I was like, how the heck are these people like at the gym all the time? I can't even get my butt in here once a week. And I just kept thinking, what if I worked out? I would go and do the towels, and I would walk by the Zumba room, and I would see all the girls just having fun and dancing, and I was like, man, I want to do that, but I didn't have the balls to just do it. I was like too scared. I always let fear scare me. But finally, I kept talking about it so much that one day one of the girls was like, why don't you just go? And so I was like, I don't know, I don't have time. I made every excuse under the sun, literally, like we all do. So finally I just, I said, okay, fine. So I wrote my goal down. I wrote it on paper and I said, I'm going to go to Zumba classes 2 times a week. One of my best friends once told me, she's like, you need to find something fun. And literally, if I walked in and walked on a treadmill and lifted weights, that was not fun. So I thought, well, maybe I love Zumba, I love to dance. I'm not the best at it, but just to get my foot in the gym. So I did that. So I wrote my goals down and I started going. And I remember the first day I was like trying to find every excuse not to go. So I bought pre-workout, and so I drank it and I was like, man, F this, we're going. Like, so I took the kids and I walked in. I was literally probably in the back row and I was scared. I was like, what am I doing here? And so the class began and it was all nice. I loved all the music, but when it came to all the moves, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. Like, okay. And so I kept going. I was out of breath. I was just like trying to find every excuse not to go. And so finally I survived my first Zumba class. And I was like, okay, well, I have to come back again. So I planned. After those 2, like my goal was 2 times, I put it in my calendar and I was like, okay, Mondays I'm gonna go to Zumba at 7, and then, you know, whatever other day I didn't work that Zumba was available, I would go. And so I started doing that for the first probably 2 months, and then finally I was like, you know, I lost maybe 5-8 pounds. I don't remember. I didn't really keep track. I did take a lot of progress pictures, but I just kept going. I didn't really know what my ultimate goal was. I just wanted to feel better, and I wanted to be happy again, and I wanted to look in the mirror and smile and not be like, oh, look at my double chin, or look, you know, I didn't want that. So what I did, I just kept going, and after 2 to 3 months, I finally was like, okay, well, I need to add weight. And so I did weights kind of like 2 to 3 times. But I continued to go to Zumba. And then finally about probably the beginning, I think it was January, my schedule changed. So I was like, okay, I have Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. I need to do, you know, whatever. And so I was like, okay, well, I looked at the classes. Zumba was available. So I do Zumba 3 times a week. And then I do... well, sometimes after Zumba, at first I was lifting weights. I would just do whatever I felt like doing. I would do a little bit of everything at one time, because if I isolate part of my body, I just feel like I get bored easier. So if I do a little bit of my arms and legs and whatever, it works out for me. So then finally, I kept getting asked to go to body pump, which was right after one of the Zumba classes. And that was about 2 weeks ago. And I was like, no, I'm scared. I don't know, you know, what's going to happen. I'm always scared. I don't know why. But anyways, so I just did it. I was like, screw it. So I like literally just got on, or my weight was like the lowest there was. I probably was like, could have lifted more because I've lifted more. But because I didn't know what to expect, I was just like, you know, I'm going to go light now. And even with the lightweight, I felt everything, not everything, but I felt it, because it takes me at least 2 days to feel. So I don't feel it the next day, I feel it the second day. And I was like, oh, okay, well, this isn't too bad. So that was Saturday. And so Saturday, I usually work. And so after work, I work out. And so, you know, I did that. And so now I'm 2 weeks into body pump, and so I actually like that I feel stronger and stuff like that. So I do Zumba and body pump, and then my goal is to try at least several of the classes. I also did a body step class. That was not my cup of tea. I'd rather stick to Zumba. But it's a really intense class, but it's really good for you. I'm not gonna like knock it. It was a good class. It just wasn't something that I enjoyed personally. So that's basically what I've done. As far as eating, my goal was to actually just get in the gym. I didn't really have like, let me eat less, let me count calories. I didn't want to become obsessed with that. So I basically just worked out first, and that's what I've been doing. And yes, I've eaten healthy. I've also done intermittent fasting. So basically, here's a short story of intermittent fasting. It's just that I eat from 12 to 8, 1 to 9, and basically I'm fasting for the other 16 hours of the day. So I only eat in that 8 hours, and that's helped. I carry a gallon of water everywhere. I fill it up at work. I drink it. I can't say that I've been the best always, but my goal is like, if I have a gallon, then I'll drink it. So that's something that's really helped me too. Sodas for Lent, and so that really helped me. By the time I started working out, I wasn't drinking soda. I will say I do drink a soda here and there, but it's not the same. I don't crave it. I am in Texas, so we do drink sweet tea, and sweet tea is my favorite. So I try to drink just 1 cup of sweet tea a week, if that. Now I don't even remember the last time. Maybe it's been about a week now that I've drank sweet tea. So I was drinking sweet tea instead, but I've cut down on that. I drink 1 cup of coffee a day. I do add milk and sugar. Sometimes I have 2 if it's, you know, just a day where I'm like, man, I gotta go to work, I just need a cup of coffee. I will drive through Starbucks and get me a coffee. But as far as eating, I try to eat cleaner. I try to eat salads. It's not really something I enjoy. I also watch like my portions. I try to eat less, so like less rice. I kind of cut out rice, bread, and if I do eat bread, I eat it probably right after I've stopped fasting. And that just what works for me. If I eat too much bread or something late at night or whatever later in the day, it's like I just feel bloated and I don't like that feeling. So I try to eat it earlier. So by the time I eat at night, and I'll eat like brown rice at night or even white rice. I still eat white rice. But I don't eat as much as I used to. You know, I cook chicken, some veggies, and basically I just do what works for me. It's been 5 months, maybe almost 6 next month. And I've come so far as like working out and how I see myself in the mirror and stuff like that. Literally, it took a lot of positive affirmation. I had to change my mind, because if I wanted to change my body, I knew that I had to change my mindset. Because if I kept saying, oh, you can't do that, like it's never gonna happen, it would never happen. And that's what I did for the past 3 years. Now I look back and I'm like, man, I wish I'd have done it sooner. But I think that everything is in timing. Like, it happens when it happens for that reason. I can't explain it, but sometimes I feel like when something happens, it's because it's supposed to happen like that. And so that's just my way of, you know, how I see things. You know, if I don't get a certain thing, or so that I've blocked myself from getting that because I think that I can't do it, and I've talked myself into saying like, you can't do that, you're not gonna be able to do that. So basically, anytime I think something negative, I literally have to stop myself in my head and say, hey, you know, like, stop that, you don't mean that. And I go back to a positive thought, or I just let it go and not let it consume me. But basically, that's just the beginning of my weight loss story. I've lost 21 pounds, and it literally took me getting to rock bottom to get to that point where I was like, I need to do something. All I did was complain for so long, and I did nothing about it. So I look back and I'm like, why? That whole time I complained, I could have been in the gym, you know, working out or doing something for my future body, you know, but I didn't, because I was just used to complaining, and it was easy. And now I don't complain about it. I go to the gym, I walk in. With Zumba, I used to be in the back row, and now I stand in the front row. I don't care what anybody, like, nobody's watching you, nobody cares. They're there to work out. Some people may not know the moves, but at the end of the day, the way I feel means so much more to me than what I look like when I'm doing Zumba. But the ultimate goal has just been going to the gym and to feel better. So that's what I did. So that's just my weight loss journey. I'm still on the journey today, and I probably will be. I don't want a quick fix. I want a long-term goal. I want to be there for my kids' soccer games and sports when they get older. And so I want to show my kids that you can do it, to just basically have a healthy living. Like, I take them to the gym, and just so they know that mom works out, I want to work out, I want to feel good. And I did this for me. I didn't do it for anybody else. So if you're contemplating on why you're like, oh, I want to do it for my husband, my boyfriend, blah blah blah, don't do it for them. Do it for yourself. You'll thank yourself in the future and say, I'm glad that I made that choice. But basically, start with your mind and start clearing out the negative thoughts of I can't, and say I can, and go from there. And make small goals. Like, my goal was 2 times a week, and I did that for a while, and then I was like, I need to up it up. So just do what works for you, and do something fun. Zumba is my fun, so that's what I enjoy. And I knew after a while that I couldn't just do Zumba, that I needed to hit the weights, and I was intimidated by the weights. I was like, but at the end, I just went and did it. I just put my headphones on, put my music on, and just did it. So don't be scared. You got this, and just write your goals down on paper and look at them every day and say, okay, I want to go to the gym. If you're struggling with getting to a gym, drag your best friend out to go look at gyms and see what's convenient for you guys. If your friend can go out drinking with you on a Saturday night, drag her ass to the gym with you. Say, I want to go to the gym, I don't want to go alone, can you please come with me for moral support? That's all you got to say. And if she says no, or he says no, just go. Find another friend, take your mom, take somebody that will support you. I just got lucky enough that I started working there. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have gone to a gym. But again, everything happens for a reason. So quit making excuses and do this for you. Don't do it for anybody else. And get a piece of paper out, write your goals, and go from there. So I hope you guys enjoyed my video. And just comment down below what you guys, what other videos you guys would like me to do as far as weight loss, or makeup, hair tutorials. I get asked a lot of things all the time. So basically this is just my randomness in a YouTube channel. So I hope that helps you guys a little bit, and I wish you the best of luck. If there's ever a time that I could help you, just hit me up on Instagram, or email me. I'm not a nutrition or anything. This is just what I've done to help myself, and if you just need someone to follow on Instagram and moral support. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. Stay warm. Here in Texas it's raining and it's ugly, and I'm ready for some sunshine. So I hope you guys have a good weekend, and that's it. Y'all have a good day.